Hey everybody, what's crack-a-lackin'? Hope everybody's doing good in there. Somebody give me a 5 for 5 and we will get rolling here. But guys, we've had an X5 class solar flare. As you can see there, it definitely is substantial. So I'm gonna run that one more time so you guys can see that real quick, and we'll move forward here. I'm gonna give you a little brief overview, and then we'll get a little deeper here. But yeah, this is a big deal. This isn't something that anybody should be overlooking. Please share out the stream. And I know it's a weird time for me to be streaming, but when we got these things going on, this is what we do. So here is the X5. We actually have 3 X flares, one each day, and some of them, 2 of them produced significant CMEs, and yeah, and here's the last one. This is the X5. Now you can see it erupt, and then immediately almost you see the radiation storm hit. We have a S2 radiation storm right now, and it isn't just from this particular flare. It actually started as an S1 from the flare prior to this one, and I'll show that to you guys here in a minute. But you can see how fast the protons get here. They're here in about 20 minutes from a flare like this. So you can actually see it hit the coronagraph. So here's the halo eruption, and then here's your, almost immediately you see it, just a whiteout here on the coronagraph. And those whiteouts only happen typically during the bigger storms. You're not going to see that on a lower level, flare or anything like that. Hey, Hope, good to see everybody in there. And I will stop and say hi here in just a second, guys, okay? But again, here's the X flare again. I want you guys to see this. This is the 131 angstrom, and look at that. Yeah, it's extreme ultraviolet light, what you're looking at, and this is from SDO. It is from our perspective. It's as if you just went outside and looked up. But I would show you guys, yeah. So here's the cannibal CME. This is the mess of the CME stuff we got coming at us. Look at this. It's converging right at our planet. And if it happens like that, we will see a significant geomagnetic storm. If it actually pans out to happen like that, because you're going to get a lot of density and speed at the same time. So that's just what I'll say on that. We will get, like I said, we're going to get deeper in that here in just a second. I just want to give you guys a quick overview before we move forward. Also, I'm going to show you guys these comets. This is not Comet Atlas. Initially, I thought this was, but I went to look and confirm what I was thinking here. These are 2 other comets, and they're hanging out by the sun. And I think some of them are, Comet 3I Atlas. I think one of these is another Atlas comet, but it's not 3I, the one that everybody's been looking at. But you can see the CME hit this thing and just blow the tail right off of it, and it comes right back. But and then the other comet up here, we'll get deeper into that too. I think one of them's Comet Lemon, and we'll take a look at it. And here is where Stereo A is at. That's our viewpoint. And again, I'll go more into that here in just a second. But yeah, so we're gonna do that, and here we go. All right, guys. First, I want to start off with some great news. My wife we got our test back from my wife's biopsy on her breast, and it was negative. I've been freaking out over that. To be honest with you, that's a lot of the reason why I haven't been here the past few weeks. I was not going to be doing videos when I thought I should have been spending time and being there for my wife. So we had a pretty big scare. I mean, they pretty much were telling us she had something going on, and it ended up being calcification, like a group of calcified areas in her breast. But we got the results from that back, and man, I tell you what, it's just been a relief, and it's just yeah. And thank you for everybody that prayed and said whatever you guys did. I don't care. I don't care what it was. Thank you. Thank you so much. It just is. It's just such a relief for me, and As you guys know, she's my best friend, and yeah, I don't want to walk this planet without her. So, and that's what, you know, and that's kind of where I was at. And I just want to thank everybody else for being there and being the support. So thank you. Hey, Awakening, member 19 months. Heck yeah, baby. And I will go more into that on a members only stream. So if you guys want to join to be a member and stuff, you'll hear more there. But I just wanted to make sure everybody here knew also, okay? I don't put anything behind a paywall, anything like that. Hey, Hilly, good to see you, bud. Thank you, bud. I appreciate you, man. I want to stop and just say hi to everybody, but as soon as I do that, man, I get ripped up in the comment section. Okay, so, look, guys, X-Flare, X-Flare, X-Flare. About the same time each day. Check that out, right? Now, I almost went live when this happened, yesterday. And I thought, well, I'll give it some time just so we can see if it produces a CME. And it did. And I was getting ready to set up, and then all of a sudden, bam, I started seeing this radiation storm. I thought, well, I'll just wait and see if it gets any higher. Because right here at an S1 radiation storm level, it means pretty much nothing to us. It's space news worthy, but it's not anything that's going to affect us biologically. It doesn't get down to us. Our atmosphere filters all that out. But when we start seeing an S2, then we can start talking about effects on us and things around us. And that's why I waited, and sure enough, it was a combination of both these X-flares that produced this. Okay? And you can see how it's leveled off, right? I mean, right after the flare, boom, it spikes and it levels off. Doesn't always do that. Sometimes it's a slow trickle. And we've seen that multiple times. We can get radiation storms from blasts off the back. But I wanted to make sure you guys seen all three of these, because these are important. Now, right now as we speak, like I said, in S2, they are forecasting, let me just redo this, because this stupid thing over here. Now, the official forecast is, here in the next 6-8 hours, a G3 storm. Okay? I can tell you right now, we're right here in time. Actually, we're past this. We're kind of here in time, because you got to go by UTC, right? So it's 4-hour difference between us and UTC if you live on the East Coast. I just want you guys to understand that. Now, so right now they're saying we should be in a G1, and we are not. As a matter of fact, geomagnetic conditions right now are very, very minimal. Let me show you. Look, we're talking like below 1 on the index. This is the HP. It's the same as the KP, this is 30-minute increments, and this here is a 3-hour average, okay? But see what even LASCO's showing you here? This is LASCO's C3 tool from SOHO. It's 1,000,000 miles closer to the sun than what we are. And look at this thing. That's a radiation storm. That's just highly charged particles just blasting the satellite camera, the coronagraph here. That's what that is. I got some interesting pics to show you too. I do have the Comet showed up on stereo A on the coronagraph. What I showed you here, is not the coronagraph. This is HI1, okay? And this is a different type of imaging. I'm not going to get into exactly what this is and how it works. It takes a minute to kind of explain it to everybody the right way. But you can definitely see there's two comets there. Now the sun's off over here on the right side. You can see the CMEs and stuff blowing off the sun here. This is how you know this isn't Comet Atlas. Comet Atlas is on the, I believe it's on the other side, if I'm correct. So don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it is though. It's over here on this side. So I don't think this is Comet Atlas. Now if it is, I will most definitely come out and correct myself. But I don't think that it is. I don't think that one is either. There's just a couple other comets hanging around, and this isn't so abnormal. I know people think that, yeah, that's a lot of comets, and it is, okay? This is a little bit elevated in activity. I mean, it just is. But it isn't, like, extremely rare to have 4 or 5 comets hanging around. It is kind of odd to have interstellar comets and stuff like that flying through. Obviously, Comet 3I Atlas is definitely something we need to be paid attention to, because it's something we've not seen before. It's done things. We're not getting official photographs anymore. And that's what I'm saying. I'm watching on the coronagraphs right here. I don't know anybody else that's showing you this. I wish they would. I really do. Because if anything happens from this point of view, stereo A will catch it. And let me show you what I mean by that. Here's Earth. This is stereo A. So when I'm showing you this, we are looking from a perspective of off to the side. So anything that's on the backside of the sun over here, it's going to see. We can't see the field of view that stereo A does. It's going to see back here. We can't. Okay? So anything that's happening back here, we can't see, but stereo A can catch a glimpse of it here. So that's why I'm watching this. We're very fortunate. Now, I mean, they could still take this down if they wanted to. I'm not saying that anything crazy is going on there either, okay? I don't know. I don't try to speculate on those kinds of things because you simply can't prove or disprove it. So I just don't even go there, right? It just doesn't, it's almost a waste of time to like just solely do something and just concentrate on that part of it. Because you're never ever going to prove or disprove it completely. Somebody's always going to be in doubt, and I've just found that it's just, you know, I have my opinion just like everybody else does. So I just decide to show you the information and then I move on. And that's, you know, I think that's the best way to do it. You guys are smart. You guys can figure out what you all believe. You know what I mean? So yeah. Now, Dr. Tony Phillips here does a great job. I shout him out. I show his page almost every live stream. He does a great job. And, I mean, he's on point. I mean, as soon as something happens, he's got it here. So go over here to spaceweather.com. I'm actually going to just flop that thing down in the chat box here real quick so you guys can see it. It's right there. And, you know, it's in my description box. He's easy to find. You know, he's a physicist. He sends up weather balloons. Matter of fact, he lost a weather balloon he's been looking for years up in the mountains. I don't mean to laugh at him or anything, but it's been years now, and it's got to be frustrating for him. He can't find it. But anyway, this was an X5 solar flare, and it was from this sunspot here. Okay, now this sunspot, I call it the twisted sister because the polarities are supposed to be left, right? Okay, positive, negative, or negative, positive, depending on what hemisphere you're in. This sunspot here was odd in the way that it was, orientation was north-south. Okay? So when you get a north-south oriented sunspot, that's not a normal thing to see. It's not something that we don't see because we do see them. I think they said, was it 3% present that way? But this is why this thing is erupting so much. The magnetic fields in it are twisted, so they keep reconnecting. Disconnecting, reconnecting, crossing, and when they do that, you get that reconnection and bam, there's your flare. Okay? And this is harboring, what's special about this one, it's big enough and it's harboring enough energy that it's able to produce those bigger flares. Okay? So that, you know, I don't really want to go too much more into that because that's something that we could spend a whole half hour talking about. But that's just the simple part of it. The orientation, the magnetics of this is supposed to be left, right, and this one is north, south. And there was actually two separate cores in here, basically, and they were just crossing one another. It got to be a mess. And I don't usually show you guys the magnetic field lines on the sun because unless you really know and you've seen it 1,000 times, it's hard to explain to somebody those field lines because there's so many of them. It's not just one or two field lines, guys. It looks like a rat's nest. So, but yeah, I want to rock. I love that. Love that. See here, thing. That's right. That's right, baby. I love it. Okay, so let me go here with you. Okay. Now, again, you guys can go to Soho. Anybody can. It's here. It's in my description box. That satellite's right out in front of us. It's right here. Okay, it's 1,000,000 miles closer to the sun, so we get like just a few minutes warning from a CME if it's coming our direction. Now, it can see it way before that, obviously, which is why we talk about the halo CME stuff. But you can see where all these flares and these CMEs were popping off. Okay? This thing doesn't pick up flares because the flare itself is behind the Coulter disc. Okay? So if I take you to this, which is highlighted in red, a halo CME is poking around this Coulter disc. You can't see the flare, right? Because that's a physical disc. You're not going to be able to see the light behind it. But we do get to see the energy as it pokes around the edge. Obviously, this was a full halo, and that's just what it was. Nothing more to even say there. It's just a massive storm. It really is. This is from the same satellite. This is just a zoomed out version of that. Okay. Now we're not seeing this one. They're not putting this here right now because the government shut down. They've cut back on some of their funding and stuff. Well, they don't have funding, so they're not updating some of the sites. So we're not able to show that to you. Now I could go to other sites like where did I have it right here? This here is HelioViewer. This is the SDO tool, but it's on the HelioViewer website, not the SDO website. This is what I mean, how we can go see the data in other places. If we weren't able to do that, we wouldn't see this at all. The data is still there. You just got to know where to go to look, okay? And I said that 1,000 times, so be careful when you say that the data is not there. Now, you can say, hey, a website's down, but don't say the data is not there, because it probably is. Now, if you've exhausted all the avenues, then yeah, there is sometimes that the data isn't there. But not always, okay? So I'll just say that. Now, again, this is the 131 Extreme Ultraviolet. And that's just an impressive solar flare, guys. I can't say it any other way. It really is. It's a very impressive solar flare. So let me pause this, and I do have another one I could show you. The 304. Okay, now this is the 304. This is ionized helium. See the dark areas? Those are filaments. Those are magnetic filaments. But then you see the different kind of view we get here? Now, I've shown you guys this 1,000 times. So what you're seeing there is, that's actually the CME part. Okay, so I'll just kind of back it up. And I may be able, let's see if I can't. Hey, Samuel, thank you. Hey, buddy, I appreciate that, man. Man, that's generous, bro. Thank you. Samuel, that's awesome, bud. Thank you. So cool. So cool. $20. Man, that's, I can't even tell you. You guys, I do have to stop right here, and I'm just going to say it. You guys are the best people that I know. I'm serious. I don't see, other than over on Marfugal, it's a lot of people. We share a lot of, subscribers, because Adam and Dex always push people this way. And I'm over there as a moderator. But you guys are the most generous and the most just loving. I just can't even say it. You guys bless me sometimes when, frankly, I don't deserve it, and frankly, when I need it. So just know that when you guys do that, it's never underappreciated, and I know Adam and Dex feel the same way. So thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. That did show up in the chat, didn't it? I highlighted. Yep, there it is. Okay. I just wanted to make sure you guys see that, because I love. Hey, Aliyah. That's my sister right there. Y'all didn't know. She is. Okay. Anyway, so let me go back to the space player, and thank you, Samuel, once again. So you can kind of see, and I was going to try to highlight, to try to, can I get any higher here? Any closer? That's kind of closer, huh? Well, this is what I want to show you here. For some reason, it's not letting me move that window around, but I'll go ahead and play it. I want to show you how this thing, you can see it kind of peel back the surface when it happens. There's a flare, and you see how it kind of just peels back? That's what they call a canyon of fire on the sun. Now, it's not fire. You have to have oxygen for fire. Space is a vacuum, right? There's no oxygen there. So just keep that in mind. It's a fusion process, and I'm not going to get into the details of that, because again, that it'd take a week of videos. So, but I want to show you this when this erupts. Watch over here. Now I got to run it back here as soon as it comes back around. Let's see if it's going to come back around here. Okay, guys, I'm gonna mute for just a second. My mouth is dry. I need to get a drink real quick because I don't want to. I just think it's rude, people slopping in the mic. Okay, so, all right. Now I'm gonna pause it. Now watch right here. Don't watch here. Watch over here. Come on. Here it comes. Did you see that? You see how far that went? That was the initial blast, and then you see the dark shadow. And the dark shadow is the actual plasma leaving the sun. Okay? So that's your solar storm. I just wanted to make sure you guys kind of got a little down and dirty kind of view of that. Maybe I shouldn't use those words, but you know, that's just how it goes sometimes. Okay, so, man, is it going to do that to me? It sure is. What a jerk. What a jerk. What a jerk of a computer. Just kidding. And by the way, guys, I've been having tech issues. I haven't really shared that with you guys because it's not your guys' issue, right? You're not going to hear me come out here and start whining about my tech issues. I just don't do that. I started my show on a broken phone years ago, and I was blessed that somebody, Mike Sproul, bought me a laptop way back when, okay? And that's how I got started. So I don't like to come out here and say, because people do that, right? They're being very generous and stuff. So I don't usually say when I have tech issues because I know people like to bless me, and I don't want to do that all the time. I don't want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? So my kids and my wife bought me a early Christmas present. I got a new computer and I got to set it up, and it's a good one. So be looking for some better looking content, I would say. All right. So once again, here's that blast. Now I do want to show you. I don't want to start squirreling here. I've been doing pretty good on this video. I'm trying not to squirrel. That's why I'm not really looking at the chat. Okay. Let's, oh, Andrea, thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you. Wow, Andrea, man. That's awesome. Man. See? Y'all get me every time. I get emotional over stuff like that, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not afraid to say it. But thank you so much, Andrea. That's awesome. You guys are always there for me, I'm telling you. Anyway, but as you can see this right here, and I'll give you a proper thanks later. Guys, go ahead and give me a roll call while I'm doing this. As you can see here, this is the cannibal CMEs that everybody's calling a cannibal CME. Now I do want to make sure that you guys understand that when we say cannibal CME, they don't combine. And you're going to hear words like merger and things like that. Essentially, they do, right? But the magnetics in here will not let them combine. What's happening is you get one CME, another CME, and another CME, right? The one in the front's moving the slowest. So the ones in the back are eventually going to catch up with it. And what it does is it creates another shock in between these two CMEs. So these two CMEs basically become three because the density gets built up in between. Now, then you get this really high dense one from this massive flare. Look, see the black there? It doesn't get any more dense than that. So, and it catches up. Okay, so we get hit with the cannibal CME, and then we got this, we're kind of catching a little bit of a break here because this X5 is actually kind of pointed in between us and stereo A. So we're going to get hit with the side of that one. If that one was hitting us dead on along with these other ones, there would be no doubt in my mind we're going to see a G5 storm. But that's not happening, okay? Now, there still is an outside chance we can still see a G5 storm. There's always an outside chance that these models could be off just a little bit. Always keep that in mind too, okay? So just let me, I want to make sure you guys see this. See how these we get hit with this first one. The second one's back here. This isn't really the second one. This is the area in between it. You can kind of tell right here. See that? It's back here. So what you're seeing here is that collection of particles getting pushed together because it's catching up with the one in front. See that? So it's a good way to show you. I'm glad it happened this way because this is a very good teaching CME to let people understand that this, they really don't combine. They just get pushed together. So, thank you, Hope. Wow, you guys are awesome. Hope you're a blessing, girl. You really are. Thank you so much. So much. Thank you. Again, okay. I'll stop here in a minute to give you guys the roll call. I'll be able to go back on my phone and say, hey. But anyway, I wanted to make sure you guys see that. And this is why this is such a big deal. Because you can see how big of a mess this is. We haven't had one like this since back in April that was even close to coming to anything like this. Now, I don't want us to let our guard down thinking that this isn't going to be anything, because right now we're down lower than we have been in days in geomagnetic activity. Okay? This happens sometimes. Our geomagnetic field will kind of sense it coming, and it will, believe it or not, it starts to prepare for it. It'll reach out. It does all kinds of things. Weird things that you wouldn't think it would do. But it does. And then all of a sudden, wham. And when it hits, you just don't know. You don't know, because the BZ is what's important. What's the BZ? Well, it's the -6 that I talk about all the time. And we'll take a look at that real quick. Okay? The BZ is this top one up here. This is I don't like showing graphs because they're boring. But as you can see here, this red line is what we look at. Again, this website, this is NOAA, right? Anything on NOAA, you can go to the bottom of any page on NOAA and you can see everything I show you right down here. You start clicking around. Or you can go to my description box. It's in there too. But we look for -6. If it shows -6, that's when we start talking about, hey, we're primed and ready to accept this CME to hit us, and it could really give us a storm, right? Right now, we're hanging out at a +2, 1, 2, and 0, right? So until this thing really drops down, we're not really gonna see a whole lot, okay? Now, it's all gonna happen all at once, okay? I'll just tell you that. The density, the speed is gonna increase abruptly, and the -6 is probably gonna happen. Now, what that is it's just the direction of our magnetic field, and negative, positive, I'm not going to get into details on that today, but just remember that -6 is what you want to look for. And it'll highlight it in purple here. That's how important it is. They highlight it. So once you meet that threshold, that means, hey, we could see a big storm. Okay, so let me, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time trying to get into the details, because guys, you guys know how I can do. I can just go straight into details, and it really. Okay, let me back up here. Ponca City, Oklahoma. What's up, Lisa? Let's see here. Angel Wings, what's up? Hilly's here. Hope's here. Andrea, that's right. Trish is here. What's up, Trish? Yeah, baby. Okay, let's go down here and see if anybody left me where they were from. Thanks, Dennis. Hey, Dennis, you're the best, bro. Appreciate you, man. Miss B's in the house, baby. Heck yeah. As for what to wear and use with time of exposure warning, UV, that's a good question. I will show you this. You guys, you can come to, let's go up here. Let me find it real quick. UV, D region, flare, geoelectric. It's the scales is what it is. Let's see here. There it is. I found it. Okay. So this is the scales of the storms, right? This is their recommendations of what happens. So you can see S1 minor, which is that biological, none. So in an S1 there is no biological anything. Now when we're talking about like scales and things like that, you might be talking about like UV and stuff like that. Absolutely, right? I mean, we want to protect ourselves from UV and all that. I can't really go too much into that right now, but we're at an S2 right now, and that's passengers and crew in high-flying aircraft. So the higher altitude you are, the closer you are to this radiation. Okay? Elevated radiation risk. And you would have to be in it for an elevated amount of time, and you would have to be in it multiple days probably at this level. But if it gets stronger, that's when we start having issues, guys. We got to pay attention. And that's why I show it. Okay? Now this is the radio blackout. We were at an R3. So we had a wide area blackout as high frequency radio. It went out for like an hour where that happened. Okay? I may still be able to show it to you. Okay? But this is the D region, and that was at the end of it. Because it happened over here. And it actually happened over land this time. In Africa, mind you, where there's a lot of, the population isn't all that big right here. South Africa and stuff like that, yes. But in the middle of Africa, no. But what you're seeing here is the radiation storm at our poles. That usually isn't there. A flare is going to show up as this bullseye signature. Okay? This is actually the radiation that came with it. So that's just what I'll say. You're also going to see the electron content just spike, and it's going to stay up. It's not going to, the only time this is going to go down is when it gets to the night side. See how that's doing right there? That's at night. So when it comes back to daytime, you'll see the electron content come back up because now we're facing the sun again. That's why. So, but those are all great things there for sure. What we got here? Did I miss something? Holy cow, Samuel. Well, buddy, thank you. Do I expect grid down? No, I don't really think grid down, Samuel. I don't. What I will say to that, and let me highlight that before I forget. That was so generous, man. I don't even know what to say, Samuel. That's awesome. Thank you so much, bud. Appreciate you. Man, you just don't even know. That's so cool. All you guys, so cool. So cool. Man, what a blessing. Anyway, to address that, no, I don't think grid down. Now, I will say this, okay? Number one, there's always a possibility of something like that if the models are wrong. There's also a possibility it could not be as strong, which is why I try not to be overemphasizing anything, I'm sure you guys hear me kind of pull myself back sometimes. Because there's times I have an opinion, hey, this is going to be a big hit. And I'll tell you guys, hey, this is going to be a big hit. But I almost always stop short of saying, hey, this could really give us bad issues. Right? Because I just simply can't say that 100%. Now, if I see an X25 flare, I'm going to say, hey, yeah, grid down's possible. That kind of thing. Right? But this isn't that. This is an X5. Now, we got hit with an X8 earlier this season, I believe. I think it was back in April. And, just because a flare is big doesn't mean the geomagnetic storm is big either. It has the potential for that. Now, and we also have, so many things have to line up. It has to be in line. We have to get hit with the middle of it. And our BZ, guys, the BZ number. Okay, it's so important. If our BZ is going to try to keep itself in the positive, our magnetic field is going to block it better. So there's so many factors. But bigger storms can always overcome that. And yes, there is a chance that we could see regional outages and things like that. Do I see a total grid down? No, I don't see that from here. But I will say also down here, if you see their predictions, these are flares. This is a M-class flare range, R1 to R2, okay? We have a 35% chance of more X flares the next 3 days. That's significant. Very significant. That number is usually at 1. Okay? Seriously. So when they come off of the basement floor 1 and go to 35, you have to understand that they're thinking that we have a good chance of getting more of these. And just always keep that in mind. Also, you can see where the radiation storm, they got it slowly lowering here, which is probably what it'll do. unless we get more eruptions, okay, which is very possible. This is their official forecast. They may change this. They're going to have to change it because they're already wrong a little bit. Right here. That's wrong. Right now it's 2 o'clock, so it's 6 o'clock. So that would be right here. We're right here in time. And we haven't seen a G1 storm yet. Okay? So they're 6 hours off right now. But they have a plus minus 7 hours. So they're really kind of still inside their forecasting. But we'll you know, I don't really try to hold on to that because it's so hard to time that out. You can't really tell how fast something's coming off the sun until you see it coming a few hours later, using other instruments and things like that. But I'll just leave that at that. Okay, so here's that comet, and here's the other comet up here. I do think these are two separate comets. These are not Comet Atlas. These are not going to give us any issues, but you can see how they're acting. These two comets are actually orbiting the sun. Comet 3i Atlas is not. You won't see this thing loop around the sun. Comet Atlas won't. This one is. Okay, so that tells me that these are not Comet Atlas. Both of these are looping around the sun. This one came from the right and went that way. The tail is facing away from the sun like it should, even though it's moving from right to left. The solar wind's pushing the tail that direction. Okay, so that's what I'll say there. And if I missed anybody in there, I am so sorry, guys. This is hard to kind of keep up with sometimes. Okay, so, you know, if we get to R4, guys, we're going to have our G4 solar storms, possible widespread voltage control problems. You know, you're talking about regional power disruptions. If we get to a G5, you're going to see something. I'll just say that. Okay? Hey, Jammer. Good to see you guys. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Is there anything you guys got any questions? Throw them in there with me real quick, and then we're going to probably end this one. But I want to say thank you to everybody that's donated today. Thank you so much for the super chats and everything. You guys are awesome. You guys are my peeps, and just thank you for always being there. Yep. Hey, pink people, baby. We're all going to be pink when we go outside in this stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll show this right here. I'll push start, and we'll watch this last eruption a few times. Oh, there is one thing I wanted to show you. If everybody's still here, I'll show it to you. Stereo A is here, right? We're here. I wanted to show that first, and then I'm going to take you guys to, let's go to core, yeah, we'll go here. No, we'll go here. Okay, so what this is going to be the coronagraph from Stereo A. It's the same thing I just showed you guys here, but this is on a different spacecraft. This is on SOHO. It's the one that's facing out in front of Earth at all times. This one is this satellite is over here. This is Earth. The satellite's here. So we get different imaging. So what we're going to see here, I'm going to speed this up. You're going to see a comet just show up right here. So let me, I'll speed this up some to get to where I need to show it to you. And then I'll stop it and slow it down. Because there's a CME that gets blasted that way and it lights it up. I showed it to my managing mods, I think, if I remember right. Let's see here. It's coming. Come on. There it is. Okay. Now I know it was hard to see right there, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reverse that and I'm gonna slow it down. You see that right there? That's a comet. Let me I'm gonna stop it and I'm gonna zoom in. Okay, I wonder what happens if nope. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out just a little so I can still control it. Okay, so let me, I'm trying to get it in the right position, guys. I should have made a movie of it and then I could have controlled it better. I'm sorry. Okay, I slowed it down. Now watch right here. I'm going to step it and stop it, and then we're going to go forward. Okay, now let me reverse that a little. Yeah, it's not showing what I wanted it to. What date is that? Okay, I probably need to go forward a little bit more. Let's I think it's on a different CME where it really shows up. Give me one. I'm sorry, guys. It's taking a minute. I apologize. Rookie mistake. Okay, I think that was it right there. So let me reverse it. Okay, yep, that's it. That's exactly it. You see this? That's a Comet. This is a CME. So, yeah. I can't believe I caught this, to be honest with you. It doesn't always happen that way. Check that out. That is crazy, isn't it? That's a CME, and that right there is most likely that comet that was racing that direction. I showed you in the other image. This is on the same website. But isn't that crazy? It just blew my mind when I seen that. Here, I'll zoom in just a little more for you. Look at that. Now, it doesn't move away real fast. It's still there. So, you just can't see it because the CME isn't lighting it up. So, I'm going to back it back off. And we will we'll take a look at it from this vantage point. And I will... See, watch. The next step, watch. See how it kind of dimmed? Because the CME wasn't there yet. And then you can still kind of see it. Now, typically, most people would think that that's a flare, that's that solar flaring off the sun, the constant movement of the solar wind, right? It's not what that is. That's a that one there is a comet. Okay, it doesn't move. It's not moving like the rest of them are. So if I keep moving forward here, you're going to see it. It's probably going to show back up. If you look real close, guys, you can still see it, is what I'm trying to say. You have to know what you're looking at, though. And I apologize. This is really, really, like, old technology that they don't use these kinds of... Well, they use the coronagraphs and stuff, but the coronagraphs are better now. But you can see it. Isn't it kind of interesting how the sun keeps blowing that direction? You wonder why? It's probably why. Okay, they do. It affects the sun and where they blow off in what direction. So I just wanted you guys to be able to see that. I just thought that was pretty cool. And I'll show it to you guys again. But, you know, it is what it is. I wish I could show you more. But there's not there much more to show. Yeah. Yep. All right, guys. If I missed something in there, I'm sorry. But I do like to say hi to everybody, and I just want to let you guys know that you guys are important to me. Thank you guys for always being there, and I know that you guys will be, and I will promise to be here as much as I can. I'm going to try to be here every day. Right now, I get up every day with the plan of doing a video. I really do. I'm hoping to get back to doing them every day. Once I get this computer, it's going to make it easier once I get it set up. But it's going to take a minute to get that done. But I still plan on trying to be here every day. During stuff like this, I always give you guys updates. So there may be 15, 20-minute updates, but that, at least I'm coming out and giving it to you. And so I'll be here. Anybody that's a member or wants to become a member, please do. We're going to have some fun. I got some games and stuff that we play over during the members only. And we will watch some funny stuff. I try to keep it light. We do talk about some space weather sometimes. Not very often. And I got this big Lego Darth Vader head I got for Christmas last year. Or it might have been for Father's Day. I can't remember. But I'm going to put that together during some members only stuff so I can talk to you. And I'm going to show you guys as I'm putting it together. I just thought that might be kind of interesting. If you guys don't want me to do that, I won't. But that's kind of something I had thought about doing. But if you guys want to be a member, please join up. I'm going to get back to doing those. My goal is once a week. It's probably going to start off like once every other week until I can get back into a rhythm. But I am slowly getting back into this, and I hope that and I just want to say thank you guys for just having the patience with me. And like I said, the most important thing, my wife is healthy, and that's where it's at for me. You know, and I've been fighting a lot of other stuff in my own head for the past few months, actually. And I may even share some of that with you, but not here. If I'm going to do something like that, it'll be on its own standalone video or during the members only or something. But anyway, I just want you guys to know that you guys all mean something to me, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I do what I do. And you guys keep me motivated to do this stuff, and I come back and you guys bless me every time. And it's awesome. So thank you for that. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show this one. Well, you know what? Let's bring the 131 back in here. We'll end with this video right here. And I just want to let you guys know you guys are special. I love all you guys. God bless. Yahusha saves. And as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid.